How's it going, guys? It's the Pixelated Pumpkin, and in today's video I'll be unboxing and setting up yet another prop from HalloweenCostumes.com, this time being the 8-foot gigantic pumpkin scarecrow. So if you want to purchase this guy at any point through the video, I suggest using that top link in the description. That will bring you to Halloween Costumes website where you could get this guy or anything you want on that website while also supporting the channel. So please do that if at any point you want to get this guy or anything. Again, use that top link. With that out of the way, I say we start unboxing this guy and getting him set up. Alright, so here's what you're greeted to when you open up the box. You got his chest piece here, his head. Yeah, look at that. That looks really cool. And then his mechanism and everything else. There's a whole bunch of stuff. So this is going to be quite a long setup, I'm guessing, but let's get started. Alright, to get started, let's start taking everything out of the box. Here's his chest plate here. Get a good look at that. That is a cool rib cage right there. Then his head. I'll bring this closer to the camera so you can get a better look. Alright, here's his massive pumpkin head now. I'm actually really liking the design of it, and also definitely that stem there. That is really unique. Seriously cool looking though. I cannot wait to see what this looks like all set up. So let's continue unboxing the parts. Here's his clothes here, it looks like. There you go. Some creepy cloth to dress him up with, I guess. Here's his arm pole. Not sure what these little things at the end are for. Here are his gloves. That's interesting. I've never seen the animatronics that has gloves before, so this is going to be pretty interesting. Got another pole right here. A few more poles. The mechanism now. This looks pretty cool. Something for, I guess, his shoulders. A few more poles. Step pad. Nice that it comes included with this. Some more pieces of some more clothing things, I guess. I'm not too sure. His instructions. Definitely going to be needing these. And finally, his massive base. Since this guy's 8 feet, he needs a pretty large base. So now that we got everything out of the box, let's start setting him up. Alright, so the first step is to get his feet and his 2 bottom poles on. Now this is pretty interesting, because basically what you have to do is you have to feed these little wires through the roots in his feet, which is interesting. So let's do that. Try to bend them the best you can, but looks like now we can get his foot actually on here. So I'm going to put this A with A. Alright, there we go. We got the first foot on. It kind of looks pretty good. I like how you could bend them like that. That's actually really unique. There we go. Now we'll repeat with the other foot here. So I'm going to do that off camera, but I'll show you when it's done. Alright, now we got both feet on. It's kind of tedious getting it through, but once you do it, it actually looks quite nice. So I believe the next step is to get his actual other leg poles on, and then we should be able to keep working our way up from there. So let's continue setting him up. Alright, the next step is just to get these 2 knee poles on, so this should be pretty easy, so let's get it done. Got 2 more poles, let's get these on now. Alright, now I raised up the camera, and we should be ready to start putting on his pants now, so let's get that done. There we go, his pants are now on, and he's actually looking pretty cool in these. Now it's starting to fill out a little bit and becoming a big pumpkin monster. But the next step, I believe, is actually now to get his mechanism on, so let's do it. Alright, here's the mechanism now. Alright, it goes this way. Let's put it on. Alright, now we got the mechanism and the pants pulled up all the way. So I think it's looking pretty good so far. It's a very, very tall prop, obviously being 8 feet. So I'm going to probably have to grab like a little step ladder or something, but it's looking pretty good so far. Alright, the next step is to put the chest plate on now. So I'm on a step stool here, and all you gotta do is just put that chest plate on now. Let's continue setting him up. All right, next step is to put his jacket on. So let's get that on. All right, there we go, the jacket's on. Now I think we have to put his arms in. All right, everyone, so instead of having to set him up like we were before with having to get on the ladder and stuff, I just decided to do it in halves. It's a lot easier that way. I'll put his coat back on and everything. Well, right at the step I was. So let's finish putting those gloves on those hands. All right, now I got the gloves on the hands. Personally, I would prefer if they were just plastic hand molds, but it is pretty unique because you're able to pose them any way you want, like this here. I'll get to the other one. But anyways, we got everything ready to go now, so let's continue setting him up. All right, so I did a lot of work off camera, getting it all put together like this. It's a real pain in the, but once you get it, it starts looking good. Last thing to do is put on the head and then put it back on the body, and we're done setting this guy up. All right, let's get the head put on. All right, there we go. The head is now on, and he's looking pretty good. But now we got to get him back up on his body, and then we're done. All right, there we go. He's all set up now. He's looking pretty cool, I have to say. He's an awesome pumpkin monster. So let's turn him on. Alright everyone, now that I unboxed, set up, and demoed the 8-foot giant pumpkin scarecrow, it's time for me to review it. So I'm going to break this down, but I'm going to keep it relatively quick here. To start off, we'll do his overall look, then we'll do his animation and phrases, and then his price, and finally my final rating. So to start off with this overall look, I think he looks pretty awesome. Now there's a few problems that I have with his look. For example, there's a plastic part that's meant to be showing, which does not look too natural, and he kind of has this cheap feel to him, but I feel like the pumpkin head really makes up for a lot of that, as it is an awesome jack-o'-lantern face, and I can't help but love it so much. I also like his upper half a lot as well. His rib cage piece is also pretty cool, and I love how you could pose those hands. They look very cool. But overall, I do have to say, his design is definitely a little bit cheap looking, and I feel like they could have put a little bit more effort into making him look a little bit higher quality, and definitely with his design around the pelvis area, I guess you could say, they definitely could have put some detail there, or at least made it brown plastic. I don't know. Now for his animation. I actually like his animation. It's pretty simple, but it does what it needs to. I like how his head lights up as well, along with his rib cage too, which I wasn't expecting, so that's something nice. I know you can't see it in the daytime footage, but it does light up. Now for his phrases, however, he only says one phrase, and it doesn't really match his whole theming. It's kind of generic, and I don't know. At least he says something though, but it would have been nice if he had a few phrases that actually made sense to go along with him, but again, his phrase is pretty generic. So overall, his phrases aren't that great. His price is unfortunately where he falters the most for me, being $300. I think since he's an 8-foot prop, it does warrant a little bit of a higher price tag, but I can't really say he's of the utmost quality in terms of his clothing especially, so I think $250 to $225 is a lot more reasonable for this guy. But again, HalloweenCostumes.com does have a 20% off coupon, so I highly recommend using that if you want to get him, and remember to use that link if you want to purchase this guy or anything off their website. But definitely, I do think it could be cheaper. It's just not the most fair price in my opinion. And now for my final rating of the giant pumpkin scarecrow. I'm going to be giving him an 8 out of 10. Now typically, I would give him a little bit of a higher boost, but unfortunately $300 kind of brings him down to there. And also his clothing just feels very cheap, and he feels like almost like an unfinished prop, kind of. But still, I like it a lot. The face is awesome on it, and it is going to look so good in my pumpkin patch area of my display this year. So if you're in the market for pumpkin head props, I say this is probably one of the better ones on the market right now for sure. I just think it looks so awesome and very, very cool. He's again 8 feet tall, so I think the price is, supposed to be up there a little bit.
but I still think $300 is pushing it by a lot. But anyways, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this unboxing, setup, and review of the giant pumpkin scarecrow from HalloweenCostumes.com. Remember to use that link in the description and to like and subscribe. And with all that, everybody, thank you so much for watching. And as always, this is the Pixelated Pumpkin, signing out.